You wrinkle your nose, your stomach churns, your body screams, no. It might be the smell of something rotten. It might be the sight of something slimy. It might be the texture of something unexpected in your mouth. Whatever it is, the reaction is instant. It is involuntary. It is primal. For you, this is just a moment of unpleasantness. For your ancestors, it was a matter of life and death. For millions of years, this powerful visceral reaction kept your lineage alive. It is one of the oldest, most effective survival mechanisms your body possesses. But why does your body react so strongly to certain things? This isn't just about taste preferences. This is about disgust. And disgust is far more than just a feeling. It is a guardian. It is a warning system. It is a deeply wired program designed to protect you from harm. Let's look at the evidence. The psychologist Paul Rosen, a pioneer in the study of disgust, describes it as a unique human emotion. He argues that core disgust is fundamentally about oral incorporation. It is about the threat of putting something potentially contaminating or harmful into your body. This isn't just about avoiding things that taste bad. It is about avoiding things that could make you sick, or worse. Rosen's research, conducted over decades at the University of Pennsylvania, has shown that disgust is triggered by a specific set of categories. These include feces, urine, vomit, blood, decaying flesh, and certain animals like worms or insects. Notice a pattern? These are all things that are either direct sources of pathogens or strong indicators of disease and contamination. Your body is not being picky, it is being smart. But disgust is not just about physical contamination. It is also deeply psychological. It extends beyond the purely oral. It encompasses things that remind you of your animal nature, your mortality, or things that violate your sense of purity. This is what Rosen calls moral disgust or socio-moral disgust, which can be triggered by acts of cruelty or injustice. But at its root, the core mechanism is still about avoiding contamination. Consider the evolutionary origins. Your ancestors lived in a world teeming with invisible threats: bacteria, viruses, parasites. They had no microscopes, they had no antibiotics. Their primary defense was avoidance, and disgust was the engine of that avoidance. The individual who instinctively recoiled from rotting meat, from contaminated water, from the bodily fluids of a sick group member, was the individual who lived long enough to reproduce. Archaeological evidence, though indirect, supports this. Sites like Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, dating back over 1 million years, show early humans carefully processing food, leaching acorns to remove bitter tannins, cooking meat to kill parasites. These behaviors suggest an awareness of potential harm in food and a drive to mitigate it. While we cannot see disgust in the fossil record, we can see its behavioral consequences. So let's reconstruct a scene. It is 70,000 years ago. You are foraging with your small group in a lush river valley. Hunger gnaws at your stomach. You spot a large fallen fruit under a tree. It looks plump, it looks promising. But as you approach, a faint, sickly sweet odor reaches your nostrils. A subtle discoloration on its skin catches your eye. Your stomach clenches, your throat tightens, your hand hesitates. Another group member, younger, less experienced, reaches for it. You instinctively pull their arm back. You make a guttural sound of warning. You point to the discoloration, to the buzzing flies that are now visible. You don't know why it is bad. You don't have words for bacteria or toxin, but your body knows. Your body screams, danger. This isn't just a personal aversion. This is a shared warning. This is a group survival mechanism. The collective disgust of the group reinforces the lesson. That fruit is bad, that smell means danger, that texture means sickness, and these lessons are passed down, not just through teaching, but through the very wiring of your nervous system, because culture layers itself onto the ancient biological foundation. Your ancestors learned not just what was inherently dangerous, but what their group considered dangerous, or impure, or simply not food. This cultural learning is incredibly powerful. It can override even strong biological predispositions. It can make you gag at something that is perfectly safe, simply because your culture has deemed it disgusting. This cultural shaping of disgust is a fascinating area of study. Anthropologists have documented how food taboos, for instance, often align with things that were historically dangerous in a particular environment. Pork in hot climates, for example, could spoil quickly and carry parasites. Over time, the rational avoidance became a moralized disgust. It became unclean. It became something that simply made people gag. This means that your disgust response is a complex interplay of ancient biology and learned culture. It is a powerful tool for survival, but it is also a powerful tool for social cohesion. It helps define us versus them. We eat this, they eat that. We find this acceptable, they find that disgusting. And in doing so, it reinforces group identity. Now think about your own life. How many foods do you find disgusting, not because they are inherently dangerous, but because you were taught they were? The slimy texture of oysters, the pungent odor of blue cheese, the thought of eating insects. These are not universal disgusts. They are cultural disgusts. They are the echoes of ancient social lessons, still playing out in your modern palate. And this is where the counterintuitive truth emerges. The very mechanism that protects you from pathogens can also limit your diet. It can make you reject perfectly nutritious food. It can make you a picky eater. It can make you recoil from something that, in another culture, would be celebrated. Your ancient guardian, in its zeal to protect, can sometimes overreach. But there is a reason for this overreach. In a world where mistakes were costly, it was better to be safe than sorry. It was better to reject something potentially good than to accept something potentially deadly. The cost of a false positive, rejecting something edible, was far lower than the cost of a false negative, eating something poisonous. Your body is still running that ancient risk assessment. Consider the work of Valerie Curtis, an evolutionary psychologist and expert on disgust at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. She argues that disgust is part of a behavioral immune system, a set of psychological mechanisms that evolved to prevent infection. Just as your physical immune system fights off pathogens once they enter your body, your behavioral immune system tries to keep them out in the first place. Disgust is a key component of this system. It is a proactive defense. It is a first line of protection. This behavioral immune system is highly sensitive. It is designed to err on the side of caution. If something even remotely resembles a pathogen or a vector for disease, it triggers disgust. This explains why you might feel disgusted by a perfectly clean but oddly shaped piece of food, or by a person who looks slightly unwell, even if you know they are not contagious. Your ancient brain is making a quick, rough calculation. Better safe than sorry. The implications of this extend far beyond food. Disgust plays a role in your moral judgments. It influences your social interactions. It shapes your political views. Things that trigger core disgust, like bodily fluids or decaying matter, can easily be extended to abstract concepts. Acts of injustice, for example, can be described as disgusting. People who violate social norms can be seen as unclean. This is the psychological leap from physical contamination to moral contamination. And this leap is not accidental. It is a powerful tool for social control. If a group can collectively agree that certain behaviors or individuals are disgusting, it creates a strong incentive for conformity. It reinforces group boundaries. It helps maintain social order. Your ancient ancestors used disgust not just to avoid bad food, but to avoid bad behavior. Think about the power of ritual purity. Many ancient cultures had elaborate rules about what was clean and unclean, what could be touched and what could not, what could be eaten and what was taboo. These rules often had practical origins, avoiding spoiled food, preventing the spread of disease. But over time, they became deeply ingrained moral codes, enforced by the powerful emotion of disgust. Violating these rules didn't just make you sick, it made you an outcast. This means that your modern sense of morality, your feelings about right and wrong, may have deep roots in your ancient disgust response. The same visceral reaction that makes you recoil from vomit also makes you recoil from injustice. The same protective mechanism that keeps you from eating spoiled meat also keeps you from engaging in behaviors that threaten the social fabric of your community. So the next time you feel that familiar wave of revulsion, that instant gag, remember its ancient roots. Remember the millions of years of evolutionary pressure that shaped it. Remember the invisible threats it protected your ancestors from. And remember that even in your modern, sanitized world, that primal guardian is still standing watch, still guiding your choices, still screaming, no, when it thinks you are in danger. It is a powerful tool for survival, but it is also a powerful tool for social cohesion. It helps define us versus them. We eat this, they eat that. We find this acceptable, they find that disgusting. And in doing so, it reinforces group identity. Now think about your own life. How many foods do you find disgusting? Not because they are inherently dangerous, but because you were taught they were. The slimy texture of oysters, the pungent odor of blue cheese, the thought of eating insects. These are not universal disgusts. They are cultural disgusts. They are the echoes of ancient social lessons, still playing out in your modern palate. And this is where the counterintuitive truth emerges. The very mechanism that protects you from pathogens can also limit your diet. It can make you reject perfectly nutritious food. It can make you a picky eater. It can make you recoil from something that, in another culture, would be celebrated. Your ancient guardian, in its zeal to protect, can sometimes overreach. But there is a reason for this overreach. In a world where mistakes were costly, it was better to be safe than sorry. It was better to reject something potentially good than to accept something potentially deadly. The cost of a false positive, rejecting something edible, was far lower than the cost of a false negative, eating something poisonous. Your body is still running that ancient risk assessment. So the next time you feel that familiar wave of revulsion, that instant gag, remember its ancient roots. Remember the millions of years of evolutionary pressure that shaped it. Remember the invisible threats it protected your ancestors from. And remember that even in your modern, sanitized world, that primal guardian is still standing watch, still guiding your choices, still screaming, no, when it thinks you are in danger. You wrinkle your nose, your stomach churns, your body screams, no, but now you know that ancient scream is a testament to your survival, a deep echo from a time when a single gag could save your life.